In the global village that we live in today, people move across borders like never before in search for a better life for them and their family. But the fears and prejudices run deep, and immigration regulations are the first roadblock that a would-be migrant may face. There are reasons for countries to protect themselves for a migration influx, and these reasons are ongoing debates world over. However, these debates function on misconceptions, as the Red Cross has shown in a recent study in Australia. Using a sample size of 1,000 Australians above the age of 18, questions regarding immigration issues were posed. 65% of Australians mistakenly believe there is a legitimate queue for people seeking asylum. In reality, the refugee system works on a need basis, with less than 1% of refugees worldwide being granted asylum in any given year. 69% of Australians wrongly believe it is a crime under their country's law to seek protection without a valid visa. Australian Red Cross CEO Robert Tickner says the Red Cross is concerned there's so much misunderstanding, and it thinks that if some of the myths are dispelled, they will have a more compassionate and stronger community. Public opinion in Australia has strongly driven legislation and vice versa. But with so many getting their facts wrong, is public policy being created that is actually being unjust to people willing to risk everything, including their lives, crossing the world's oceans? Speaking exclusively to Newsfirst, representative of the UNHCR in Sri Lanka, Golam Abbas, says that asylum seekers should not be treated like criminals.
Well, the number of Sri Lankan refugees seeking refuge in other countries have drastically dropped since the end of the conflict. Everyone has the right to seek asylum in another country. Many refugees have had to flee conflict and persecution with nothing but the clothes on their back. They had no choice but to cross borders to find safety. In this light, UNHCR has been advocating with governments not to prosecute refugees and asylum seekers who arrive on their territory without valid documents. These people have been through terrible ordeals, often at the hands of smugglers and traffickers. They are victims who should be helped and should not be treated like criminals. So in short, they are victims who should be helped, should not be treated badly.
Just today, allegations have swirled that taxpayers' money in Australia was used to bribe boat smugglers to take refugees to Indonesia. An allegation that Indonesia is already investigating and has caused a diplomatic furore between the two nations. With 74% of Australians over 55 believing the Australian government is doing enough or must do less to support refugees, public opinion and public policy might be too late to help the refugees from around the world, including Sri Lanka, languishing in camps like Nauru.